Hey guys, Brian here with Wolf's Prairie Outdoors. Hope you guys enjoyed that intro. It's a quick preview of what this series is going to be. The series is brought to you by Ranger Point Precision, Hornady Ammunition, and Big Daddy Unlimited. So if you would, go show those guys some love. Let them know we sent you. Really helps us out because without them, this series would have been very difficult for us to put together. Series is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I hope you're really going to enjoy it and stick around. We're dumping all the episodes today, right now. So this is episode 1. We're talking about defensive lever guns. And this episode is going to be an overview of what we've got going on in the series and also a little hint at each rifle. But if you want to see the details on each individual gun, check the description below. We're going to do an individual video for every rifle so I can cover all the details for you and not have to go an hour-long video just talking about the guns here. I think it'd be a lot better that way. So lever guns for home defense. You know, in not-so-free states, people can't have ARs, AKs, things like that, or they've got them that are featureless, or they've got a bullet button, some kind of garbage that inhibits their ability to use that gun efficiently in a defensive scenario. So this is kind of set for them, but also just for guys like me that want to rock a lever gun for home defense and just have a tactical lever gun. You know, if you guys follow the channel for long, you know I love them. I think they're great rifles, ton of fun, nostalgic, and now with the stuff that Ranger Point is coming out with, there's so many cool options you can add to these guns and really trick them out and kind of make it into your own rifle. You know, there's so many unique things you can do now. And it's just a ton of fun. Like this 357, I think is a great rifle to start people out on if they've never shot before. It's easy. There's no recoil really. You put a suppressor on it with 38s, it's like a pellet gun going off, so it's not going to scare them. It's just a ton of fun to shoot. If you're taking deer, the 357, 44, 30-30, or 45-70 are great options. If you want to kill a T-Rex, go for it with a 45-70. Though technically I have one little issue with that. They say it'll kill a T-Rex, but he didn't actually kill a T-Rex in the video with the rifle. He shot it a few times, but it never died. There were other dinosaurs involved. Just a little nitpicky thing I have there that bothers me with that. But either way, they're fun rifles nonetheless, and really great options for defensive scenarios. What we're going to do in this series is look at all these different rifles in defensive style scenarios. We are going to look at optics, weapon lights, 357, 44, 30-30, and 45-70 in all these scenarios. It's going to be an 8-part series with an additional 4 videos talking about each gun, like I said. So with episode 1, this one, we're discussing the rifles a little bit and what's going on. In episode 2, we're going to head out to CNC Indoor Range with Clint Upchurch, former professional shooter, and we're going to be looking at different styles of optics. We have anything from iron sights, red dots of 2 different styles, and a low power variable optic. We discuss the pros and cons of each. In episode 3, we're going to be going back out to CNC Indoor Range with Clint Upchurch, and we're going to be looking at different styles of weapon lights. And I think that was a really big eye-opener for me because of the major variations in weapon lights, even within a family of lights. There's some big differences. For episode 4, we're going to head out to the Clinton House Plantation, and we're going to be meeting Joel from Clear Ballistics, and we're going to go over each of these rounds being used in ballistics gel and see what kind of damage we get. Some very surprising results there, guys. Really, really blew my mind. Episode 5, we're going to be doing a lovely Boston butt test, shooting Boston butts with each of these because what's it going to do when it hits meat? You know, ballistic shell is one thing, gives you great data to go by and compare against all other calibers out there. But shooting meat for a defensive or hunting scenario really is a big eye-opener for a lot of people of what these rounds are actually going to do when they hit a meaty substance. It's really pretty cool to watch. In episode 6, we are going to take a look at walls. You know, people don't think about it, but if you're shooting a 45-70 indoors, you got to think about what's on the other side of that wall, the next wall, the next wall, the next wall, and the next wall, because those rounds are going to penetrate quite a few walls. So we build some wall sections and show you guys what these rounds are going to do as they penetrate. Definitely some good information there. And episode 7 finishes up our shooting portion. We are going to be testing on car doors. If somebody is outside your house breaking into your car, if for some reason they're on your property, whatever, you know, it's a scenario where a car could be involved. So we start out with a single car door, work our way up to 2 car doors, and see what kind of penetration results and effects we get with all these different rounds. So it's a pretty good series. I think we'll cover up a lot of good detail in those videos. In episode 8, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on each of these rounds and guns and different combinations of optics, weapon lights, and what I think, and what, if I could build my perfect rifle out of all of that after all this testing, what I think that perfect rifle would look like. So I'm really excited to get to that. There's a lot of great shooting going on, a lot of fun, and a lot of good information coming up. And then additionally, like I said, after all that, there will also be 4 videos covering the rifles we're using. Though I have 6 rifles laid out, we're not using all 6 of these for testing. For a home defense scenario, my ideal PDW is going to be 16.5 inches or shorter. Well, I'm not doing short barrel rifles. I can't do a pistol out of lever guns, so all of these were either factory 16.5 or cut to 16.5 and threaded. That way, I've got the shortest possible rifle. I can throw a can on it if I want, or a break like I've got on the 45-70 and this 30-30. But, you know, we've got Grandpa's old classic that most people have. This is actually my dad's. This is a Winchester Model 94 30-30. It is a ton of fun. You know, 30-30 has taken countless deer across the country over the years. It's just a great rifle. But in this configuration, it doesn't lend itself well to home defense. We've got old style semi-buckhorn sights that are not great for a precise target acquisition or fast target acquisition. Got a hooded front sight that really occludes the view of that front sight. There's no good way to mount an optic on here. You know, it's not the best option when it comes to all that. And then also it's a 20-inch barrel. So it's not going to be great because you run the risk of hooking that barrel on a door jamb, hitting a lamp with it, something like that. When your adrenaline's pumping and somebody's in your house, most people have not experienced that in their lives. So the shorter the barrel, the less chance you're going to run into something with that extra barrel length. The Henry 30-30X is a great rifle, but it has almost a 21.5-inch barrel. I've got a break on here putting it out to about 23 inches. And again, that's over that 16.5 by a lot, almost, you know, 6 to 7 inches. So that's something I'm not going to be using for this series. But, you know, if you can only have one rifle and you're a farmer especially, I'm moving to a farm, this would not be a bad choice if you can only have one rifle to cover all of that, because if I need to really stretch out and touch a coyote that's attacking my livestock, I can easily do that with this rifle with a low power variable optic. One thing to keep in mind, you know, if you do have an inherited rifle, something like this Model 94 30-30, and you do want to use it for home defense, you're more than welcome to. It's a great rifle. You know, this kind of rifle won the West, so it is not a slouchy rifle. It's very durable, very reliable. Good option for putting extra ammo on it is something like this from Mason Leather or Cartridge Cuff Guy. If you use our code WOLF10, you get 10% off your purchase at his website. Really good quality leather, guys. We've got it on a lot of our lever guns, and just does a really good job. Holds the ammo like it's supposed to and looks really good. What more can you ask for? And it's a really high quality leather too. That makes a difference. A lot of guys use some cheap leather trying to make the best profits they can. He doesn't skimp out. He does it right. But, you know, this is a great rifle. It's just not for our intended purposes with this testing. You know, when it comes to a defensive rifle, I think something like this. This is my 1894 CST. It is a 16.5-inch barrel. We have a lot of Ranger Point goodies. Again, I'll go over all this stuff in the detail video, but you want an optic, something you can get a fast target acquisition. We want extra ammo on the gun because you're going to be fighting with what's in and on the gun. You're not generally going to be grabbing extra stuff to go with it, especially with a lever gun. This is it, unless you got a pocket full of ammo to go with it. Also, we want some kind of weapon light. You know, you've got to be able to illuminate what you're seeing. You don't want to walk into a room, turn the light on, and be like, hey, who are you? No, you want to pop light on them and see what it is quick, and also blind them in the same time. So this is the kind of setup we're going for. Nice, short, handy rifle, and something that is lightweight, easy to use, something easy to wield. The other rifles we're going to be testing are the Rossi 92. This is in a 44 mag. This was a 24-inch barrel. It is 16.5 now, and actually it's an octagonal barrel that's threaded. Louthan Gunworks did this job, and guys, he did a phenomenal job on this. You'll see the details in the detail video, but we went with a post-apocalyptic Crusader theme, and he knocked it out of the park. He did a phenomenal job with this gun, and I'd never shot a 44 before this in a rifle, and I gotta say 44 is now one of my favorite calibers. Absolutely love it. And just, I love this gun. It's so handy. Everybody I show it to is just in awe. Jason Louthan did a phenomenal job. Definitely check him out, guys. After the 44, we have my Marlin 336W that you guys saw the build series on. If you haven't seen it, it's linked in the description below. Take you through the whole build of this rifle, but it ended in that series as a 20-inch barreled rifle still. As you can see, it's now 16.5. Knowing we had this series coming, I chopped it to 16.5. And also, buttstock is a form adjustable rifle stock. If you've got a low power variable optic, you really need something like this so that you can get proper eye alignment. These are a bit on the pricey side though, so a good option is something like this Bradley cheek rest. These things are extremely durable. It's Kydex. They're easily adjustable via the screws. You just have to pop the Velcro loose, adjust it, put it back. One nice thing about this setup is you can move this cheek rest from rifle to rifle if you need to. You know, I wouldn't do it on a regular basis because it's going to get annoying adjusting for each rifle. But if you didn't have a lot of money, this is a good way to go because it is pretty universal across the different platforms. It's got a foam rubber insert on the inside that locks it down to the stock. It's a really good, solid setup. And great, again, if you don't have a lot of money and you need to use it across multiple rifles. There is a new addition coming to the group, and that is going to be the newly announced Ranger Point Precision adjustable buttstock. As you guys can see, it is totally different from anything on the market. I think it's going to be a great option. I cannot wait to get one in hand and see how it holds up. I'm going to abuse it and put it to work and just see how good it really is. I think it's really going to be a good setup and going to be less expensive for those of you that can't afford the form rifle stocks, and it gives you a bit more of that tactical look if that's what you're looking for. Also, you've got an M-lock attachment point at the back, so you can move your quiver from the front to the back if you want, or you can have quivers in both places, whatever tickles your fancy. Our last gun we're going to be shooting is my 1895 SBL that again has been chopped and threaded. This one has the Ranger Point Precision Comet brake on it, which really does a good job of mitigating recoil. Again, because we have a slightly elevated optic with this MRO Patrol, we have a form rifle stock on the back. Really helps you get that proper cheek weld and it just makes it much more comfortable to shoot. These things are super easy to adjust with just a push button up and down. Not much else to say about it. Just a really good all-around setup. And this 4570, you're covered. If you want to kill it, it will do it. But that's about it, guys. Those are the rifles we're doing. In order to do all this testing, though, we've got to have some ammo. So let's look at the ammo we're going to be shooting. Up first, we have the Hornady Lever Evolution 357 mag 140 grain FTX round. The muzzle velocity is 1440 feet per second. Next up, we have the Hornady Custom 44 mag 200 grain XTP round with a muzzle velocity of 1500 feet per second. Thirdly, we have the Hornady Lever Evolution 3030 Winchester 160 grain FTX with a muzzle velocity of 2400 feet per second. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Hornady Lever Evolution 4570 Government 325 grain FTX round with a muzzle velocity of 2000 feet per second. As many of you probably noticed, the 44 mag is not a Lever Evolution FTX round. The reason for that is Hornady literally had zero on hand when they sent the ammo out. They had to beg, borrow, and steal, and it was a few months after they sent the other three that we got the 44 mag to do this. So we were very appreciative that they sent the 44 out as well as all the other ammo because it made for great testing. I think this is something that's very common, a lot of people use. So it shows them what these particular rounds will do in a variety of scenarios that most people don't really get to test in or don't take the time to test in because ammo is so expensive. So I'm really excited we get to do all this for you guys, and plus it's just a ton of fun for me to get out and shoot, and it's a reason to get out and shoot because I'm always working or filming. So it's a lot of fun for me, and like I said, we get to do some unique testing. Definitely a good time, and I've already got some ideas for more testing in the future because of the tests we just did. We're going to be following up with some pretty cool stuff. Like I said, guys, the videos for each individual gun will be linked in the description below, so make sure you check those out so I don't have to answer the same question 150 times in the comments section. It gets kind of repetitive, so that's why I'm doing an individual video for each gun to cover all those details for you. And if you have any other questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below. We'll get to them as soon as we can. And like I said, this entire series is now available at the same time, so you can binge watch to your heart's desire, skip out on work, and enjoy it. But the series is linked below, so if you want to click play on the playlist, it's right there. You can just watch it from beginning to end or whatever you want to do. Really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking this out. And don't forget to give some love to our sponsors, Ranger Point Precision, Hornady Ammunition, and Big Daddy Unlimited. Would really appreciate their help in making this series happen. If you like what you see, give us a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and check back soon. There's a heck of a lot more coming. Have a good one, guys.